and as we speak, a timeout's been called, which shows that, you know, he was.
So Anish just shooting out of the blocks with 2 early threes. And a nice layup from Remy Dimitrikas for an 11-2 lead, prompting the timeout from Joey Boylan. He is a strong 5 on the floor, and he's expecting a reaction, no doubt. Darling, provisors, Makarenko, O'Hanlon. And that's Makarenko with the response. Aidan Dunn wanted it over the top and quick. Dylan Muldoon was as far as it got, but here's Dunn. Slings it out to Musters. Here's Lynch. And a gift for Musters, and he squanders that opportunity, and here's Provisors on the charge.
Yeah, and they can ill afford to miss those kind of easy little chippies. I mean, we know for sure at some point Provisors is going to become a big part of this game, and DCU will find their way into the game with Nelms on the bench as well. So those easy points for Musters are really something he needs to finish early in order to give himself that little bit of momentum over Provisors in the game, as we see Provisors come straight back into it.
Takes on Musters, makes it count, reduces the gap to 5. Both teams have a clearly identified big man. It's Musters for Éanna, it's Provisors for DCU Saints, and they both have backup as well, which you'll expect to see in the game. Diogo Salazar, the Brazilian, who lined Murray Court in DCU Saints colours this season. Here's O'Hanlon. Darling wanted it and had the patience for the reverse layup.
Yeah, nice backdoor cut from DCU, as Musters again can't finish inside.
So it's a 6-0 run from DCU Saints. And Darling, well, a bad shot can be a good pass, and it is Provisors to bring it to 1 point.
Owen Darling had a fantastic start to the season, putting up some good numbers, but just of late he's cooled off a little bit, and he'll be pleased to get that first layup, although the 3-point shot didn't show someone with huge confidence. But he's averaging 14 a game, and I suppose after the first 6-7 games he's probably averaging closer to 18. And interesting to see for Éanna, Aidan Dunn is being guarded closely by Graham Branley, who's not leaving him at all. And Éanna, I suppose, has benefited from people not really knowing what to expect this season. He's had a great start to the season, averaging well into double figures. But you can see from this game they're really looking at him to close him down.
Here goes Darling, left-hand finish, DCU in the lead. And that is a 10-0 run now from DCU Saints, forcing the timeout for Mick Thompson's Éanna with 5:23 to go in the first quarter. So quite the streaky start to this game. 2 big runs. The latter with DCU. Put them into the lead. Strong defense in Dimitriukis. He wanted whistle blown. Here comes Darling again. Switch to the right hand at the last second. And the ball was kept alive in the danger zone enough for the whistle to be blown in DCU's favour.
Yeah, great outlet from Provisors. Finding Darling on the break and a good follow by O'Hanlon. See, now the game's settled a little bit. Be interesting to see how scoring goes for Éanna. They've been one of many of the teams towards the bottom of the table that have been averaging around 60 points and struggling to score in some games, so they'll be looking to try and keep the scoring going.
Of course, the Lynch twins for Éanna doing the commentary team a favour by only having one available to play. It's Neil on the floor today, Ian helping out on the bench. No Luke Thompson for Éanna today either. One of the best marksmen in the Men's Super League, and he will be a loss for the Dubliners today. Dimitriukis, partial block there from Provisors. Salazar got in there. And that, the beta big man for Éanna, but it's the DCU monster Provisors who profits there, and that's Aidan Dunn showing flashes of what he's capable of.
Important basket for Dunn. He'll be keen to have got on the score sheet early after a bit of a slow start, but that should give him a little bit of confidence.
Makarenko fends off Lynch. Rims out, Dimitriukis goes for Dunn. Knew he had Darling there waiting. He's mobile, this guy, but there's no one to contest the rebound there. And Kevin O'Hanlon waits for his forwards to assume the position. It's back with the point guard. Here's Provisors. Makarenko inside. Lynch felt that he was not the last man to touch the ball. Referee agrees.
Yeah, good defense from Lynch there. Just got his hands on the ball early before Makarenko would take it up and use his strength, and comes off Makarenko's knee.
And Graham Branley just eased into the passing lane there to execute the steal. But it's Éanna's bench that applaud as they turn that one over.
Yeah, tough call from Makarenko there. Just felt that the contact was created by Éanna, but it's one of those tough calls to make, could go either way. But certainly the game is now settled and going the way that DCU would like, being able to get the ball inside, a lot of passing. So if the game continues in this kind of vein, you get the feeling that DCU will be the favourite of the two, but it'll be up to Éanna to see if they can make a few more long-range threes and speed the pace of the game up a little bit.
That's going to be a long two if it goes in, and it doesn't. Salazar competing. Ulster's given a break early. Darling sniping and extending DCU Saints' lead. Kieran McKevley, former player coach with Commercial.ie Éanna. Mick Thompson's contributions meaning that McKevley just has to focus on his playing duties these times. Here's Graham Branley. Steaming through was Provisors. And it looks like that may have been called against Neil Lynch.
Yeah, his feet were just inside the charge circle, so it's actually a very good call. I know Mick Thompson below us is making a point that it's not a foul, but definitely at the point of contact, Neil's feet were inside the circle, which means he can't be there, and it is a foul on him, and great call.
So DCU Saints currently on a 15-2 run. And Éanna make the switch, with Musters coming back in for Salazar.
Salazar had a good start to the season with Éanna, but of late hasn't been playing as much. It's been more of Musters, and you can see there just struggling for confidence a little bit. Had a couple of inside looks over his shoulder that didn't go, and you know, he one of those players that we've all been there. You could just do with a couple of baskets drop in, and then all of a sudden you get that little bit of confidence and start making a few.
Dimichukas, the Lithuanian, feeds McKevley, the Dubliner. The two combine. And Dimichukas' hot streak from the outside finally comes to an end. Kevin O'Hanlon looking so comfortable in possession. Branley, Makarenko trying to get inside. Just millisecond lack of focus for Provizors, and he lost that open opportunity. And that was all too easy for DCU to put the ball out of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the score there and the big run for DCU. We've really gone over 6 minutes with Éanna only scoring one basket, and this has been their trouble for a lot of the season as a turnover occurred. You know, as for many at the bottom half of the table, the scoring, and really with the last 2 minutes of this quarter, they need to get a couple of baskets or a couple of easy looks in order to give them that little bit of confidence to get them up towards 20.
And that's Seth Senzia in the game for Éanna. Wasn't given much chance to build confidence with his first possession. That's over the top from Makarenko. Darling makes that great soft hands there to execute. And that's now an 18-2 run for DCU with 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kevley, here's Senzia. Trying to direct his players and lost focus on possession. Nice pass from O'Hanlon. And Owen Darling is taking every opportunity that comes his way.
Yeah, that's very much what Owen Darling's good at. He gets easy points by working hard at all plays, fastest down the court on a couple of occasions here, as he will be again on this one, I'm sure.
This is a big run from DCU Saints. That is just great to look at. Makarenko with the mid-air 360 in the finish. Éanna trying to speed things up to make it happen. McKevley calling the play now. It's not what he wanted though. Senzia inside, feeds McKevley, he's open. Steps around, goes from the elbow. There's a lot of hard work for that kind of miss.
Yeah, it sums up Éanna's quarter a little bit there. Maybe McKevley taking the first shot would have scored, miss would have put DCU under a little bit more strain, but dribbled into a tougher shot.
A scorching start for Éanna, but the well is dry in terms of scoring for the last 8 minutes or so, allowing DCU Saints to rack up an 11-point lead. And a chance to finish out this first quarter on their terms. Darling, Provizors, O'Hanlon. Provizors goes from downtown. There would be time for him to shoot if he wants to. Lynch has a pop. And that one always going astray. End of the first quarter. It's DCU Saints 24, Commercial.ie Éanna 13. Dunn keeping two DCU Saints players at bay. And once again, a strong start to a quarter through Remy Dimitriukas.
Yeah, when you consider he's 10 of the 15 points that they've scored, Mick Thompson will have been talking there in the little interval about his team scoring. They really need someone else to join the party.
Provisors hoovering that one up, but at the very least their streak has been snapped. Lynch and Dunn crossing over, and Dunn was just caught as he tried to round the corner, meaning a first personal foul for Graham Branley.
Éanna do have scores. They'll be missing Luke Thompson today, but in Dunn with the ball in his hands here, Neil Lynch is well able to score in good patches there, and the man with the ball musters as well. So they have options. They just need to get them started in this game. A good job of rebounding by Dunn there.
Yeah, Aidan Dunn had no right to get hands on the ball there. Not only did he do that, but he's picked himself up a trip to the free throw line. Kevin O'Hanlon does the mopping up for this possession. There's 8:45 to go in the second quarter. Goes all the way himself. And it just opened up for him there, shakes his head in disbelief.
Yeah, Kev's had a really good season and really dependable point guard for such a young age. You know, makes very few bad decisions, and another steal by Darling.
Great steal by Darling. Can he finish with the left? Yes, he can. Approaching double scores now. Musters steadies himself.
Yeah, as I was saying about Kevin, like, you know, he really controls this team. He makes great decisions, doesn't force anything, but he's able to score when he needs to, and just keeps the pace of it for DCU.
A late hit there. The play continues. Dimitriukas finds Dunn, who's wide open, off the glass and in for two. And very clearly that's what the coaches want to see from Éanna. But they're chasing a 10-point deficit. Make it 12.
The offensive foul was called there, but the basket does count. Another score from Kevin O'Hanlon.
Yeah, and a second personal foul for Branley, so he hits the bench for Martin Neary to make his introduction into the game. There's any number of underage internationals that can be called upon by Joey Boylan. A lot of guys also who know how to play and win here, having contested under 18 and under 20 Hula Hoops National Cup finals at the National Basketball Arena. Dunn goes for three. And Owen Darling does the smart thing and feeds his point guard. It's given him a chance. Great block there. Nice check, Aidan Dunn. It's still with DCU. And Makarenko, a little bit of disbelief, shall we say, on that one. And he too picks up a second personal foul.
Yeah, McCabe just checking in for Dunn here, and what you see with young players, Aidan Dunn's had a great season, like I said, scoring early on in the year, but as the season goes on, teams are now looking at the score sheet and pinpointing him as one of Éanna's main scorers, if not Éanna's main scorer. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the second half of the season when people really send their best defender at him, make him difficult to catch the ball, and that's what helps a young player to grow. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on the rest of this game in his decision making and stuff, but certainly he has all the skill sets to become a great player in this league for in the future.
Nathaniel Musters Pretty disappointed with himself there as he coughs up the travel. Thomas McCabe coming into the game for Commercial.ie Éanna and taking up residence on Owen Darling, who has been the tip of the spear for DCU Saints attack. But Dan Nelms is in the game now. Tried to pass to the referee. Luckily Martin Neary was close enough to get there. Nelms wants it inside, but it's Provisors. A deft touch from the Latvian.
Yeah, nice cut, but again, great pass from Kevin O'Hanlon. Just biding his time there, and Provisors does the rest there on a nice cut.
So Dan Nelms didn't feature when the sides met in October. So does give DCU Saints an edge which they didn't have in a game they need to win. Dimichukas says Éanna need to win this too.
Yeah, and we see Provisors just calling to Joy Boylan for a sub, just for a little breather, and when Dan Nelms is here, although I'm not sure how much basketball he's playing at the moment with work commitments and stuff, but he does give DCU, as he gets that another rebound, he gives DCU great poise off the bench.
And the left-handed layup from Owen Darling is the most potent weapon that DCU have. It's given them a 36-22 lead with 5:36 to go in the second quarter. "15 minutes ago, Commercial.ie Éanna looked the team to beat in this contest. We're midway through the second quarter and they find themselves 14 points in arrears. Dan Nelms went to the same alma mater as one Steph Curry. Davidson out west in the States. Here's Lynch. That one comes in from Dylan Muldoon.
Yeah, Neil Lynch had a quiet game so far offensively, and along with Musters, Éanna will really be relying on him. They need him to get going a little bit in order for them to get back into this game, and completely opposite to the first game where it was all fast break points from Lynch. This time it's been Owen Darling on the fast break for DCU that really is the difference in this game. The amount of easy points he's got, he's in up to 12 points, and they've all been in layups, and here's going to be another 2.
All day long for Owen Darling. The lead continues to build.
Yeah, when you're struggling to score like Éanna are, the last thing you can do is give someone 14 points in layups, and that's why Owen Darling was scoring heavily at the start of the season, and his 3-point shot starts to come, and the same happening again today.
Lynch picks up his own rebound from the three-pointer. It's a good one inside to Muldoon. It's with DCU. It's over the top for Darling. Can he make it again? Yes, he can. Meat and drink to this man.
Yeah, alarm bell ringing for Coach Mick Thompson and Éanna. They're struggling to score, even get good looks, and just being shredded on the fast break by DCU at the moment.
O'Hanlon Goes to Nelms. It's with Heaney, who further reduces the age profile of this young Dublin side. Lynch only served to keep possession for DCU Saints there. And Heaney will go to the line. Double substitution, hoping to effect change for Commercial.ie Éanna. Returning to the game, Aidan Dunn, a starter, and Seth Zenzia, who we did see in the first quarter. That's a bit of a break then for Remy Dimichukas. Two from two for Daniel Heaney. That'll do his confidence the world of good in what is his first Super League campaign. And Joey Boylan seems comfortable enough to leave two of his starters on the bench. Both Makarenko and Branley are on 2 fouls. But they do have a 20-point lead with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Éanna are working so hard at this point to create those open looks. And more change for Éanna, with Musters and Lynch making way for McKevley and Diogo Salazar. So Mick Thompson hoping fresh legs can do something for this team. So too Joey Boylan with Conor Gilligan on the court.
Yeah, for Thompson, I think it's just a case of trying to find someone that can put the ball in the basket. You know, he's shuffled his troops quite a little bit in this second quarter because no one has really been firing since Dimichukas early. So it's a case of, before the second half starts, trying to find someone who can put the ball in.
And that's better from Éanna. Senzia and Salazar combining.
Still, the missed shot there from Salazar just shows a player just a little bit rusty or a little bit out of sorts and lacking a bit of confidence. Earlier on in the season, he was putting those in and going to the foul line. Now he'll have to earn them the hard way.
Sure hope he can't hear you there, Matthew.
Yeah, he'd have wished he could have made it. He's not the best foul shooter, as you see there, but he certainly can finish inside when he's on his game.
Nelms has been doing the basics pretty well since he's come into this game. Has certainly solidified the defense. A bit loose on the offense there, but Gilligan goes for a Heaney, drains the three. We're out to double scores now with 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. And Aidan Dunn will be pleased with that one. And a good response.
Yeah, lovely little cut from Dunn. Showed good recognition, came off the down screen and knocked down a wide open three, which is a tough shot to make.
Heaney tries to follow it up. This one's short. Long pass, but Makarenko got a hand to it. So it's Darling on the drive. And Gilligan spun and let the ball out to where Makarenko was when he last looked, and not where he was, where he wanted to be. A reminder, of course, that Éanna won this game when the sides last met, albeit it was a tight game. They won by 77 points to 73. DCU an awful lot closer to that tally, with 45 on the board. Salazar goes from distance, that was never going in. Daniel Heaney tried to hit the nitro there, but that one's being called for DCU.
It's like, you see the teams, because they've changed the home team this week, they've changed benches, but it's like watching the last time they played in this venue, except opposite way round. DCU, easy baskets, easy wide open jump shots all day long, and looking to push the pace all the time. Éanna slowing things down, unable to get easy shots, which is exactly what happened to DCU last time. and the scoreline is reflecting the difference in how it ended up. But having said that, it was a blowout to Éanna early, and DCU stayed in the game and got back into it. So hopefully it'll be Éanna that come back into it in the second half for the neutral.
Certainly, you get the sense that Commercial.ie Éanna are missing some fluidity that was there and some of the better exchanges we've seen from them. There's just 45 seconds to go now in this first half. A 20-point lead for DCU Saints. They went on a 20 points to 2 run, but they were 8 down when that kicked in. So really, they've been dominating the last 18 minutes of this game in a major way. Aidan Dunn has been doing his best. Hit a fine 3 earlier on and is trying to threaten against Daniel Heaney. So too is Kieran McKevley as they combine to run down the clock. There's 10 on the shot clock now. And just to hit the panic button a little bit. That's simple but effective, devastating in fact from DCU. But that's how to end the half, dominating as they have done for most of these 20 minutes of basketball. DCU Saints lead Commercial.ie Éanna 47 points to 25. Join us very shortly for the second half of this men's Super League encounter. There are arguably 3 teams in a relegation battle in the Men's Super League, with Cubs and UL Eagles struggling for wins. The winner of this game could be considered the third. The loser of this game could be considered the third team. The scoreboard suggests that that is Commercial.ie Éanna's problem to worry about. They trail by 47 points to 25 against a DCU Saints side who have found their rhythm in this game. Very much a case of Joey Boylan's game plan bearing fruit.
Yeah, an interesting right from the start. Connor White has checked in starting the second half for Éanna. In the reverse fixture, he played a good part in that game, but he's not been seen in this game so far. So Mick Thompson obviously trying something different that they've talked about at half-time, so we'll see how that goes early in this one.
Éanna scored first in the previous 2 quarters. Can they do so again? Or will DCU Saints be able to extend their lead with Tarek Iabali into the game for the first time? Superb pass slung to Owen Darling, but it's Lynch with the rebound, and Dimichukas, who has been doing the scoring, and once again vital in getting Éanna off the mark in a quarter.
And Éanna need to stick to that pace. I mean, they've shown in this first half that if they try and use 24 seconds of the shot clock, they're going to struggle to get a good shot off against excellent defence.
Kevin O'Hanlon has an eye for a gap, and he found it there.
But if Éanna can keep the pace up and try and create quick shots, I think that might be their only realistic chance of getting back into this one, but even that would be a long shot the way things stand currently.
Dimichukas tries to spin around O'Hanlon, he does. That's a fine basket.
Yeah, he's made some great scores. That's as tough a shot as you're going to see there. He's made some great scores in this game, but O'Hanlon is proven more than a match at his end offensively.
So a 20-point game. Iabali with a fine steal, and it's 2-on-1 here. Will he finish himself? A great rip there from Lynch. He'll be pleased with that. And now it's advantage Éanna with Dimichukas in the corner. That one would have had the bench on their feet. 7:40 to go in the third quarter. Provisors makes no mistake from the elbow and takes him to 51. Éanna have plenty of time not to consider this game a lost cause. As Connor White puts up his first shot of the game. And finally somebody gets in the way of an Owen Darling run out. It's Aidan Dunn that time. But that does mean the foul is against him.
Tough shot from White as he turned down the open three to dribble into a tougher shot, and that eventually with a long rebound led to the Darling being off to the races again, and we've seen what happens so far in this game when that is the case.
And Éanna's troubles continues. Iabali on a mission to destruct. Might have considered putting the advertising hoarding back after him. But at the very least he managed not to do any grievous bodily harm to the referee.
The venue officer, as always, on top of things to put everything back into place below us.
Lynch for two.
Much needed basket by Neil Lynch there. A very quiet first half, but Neil's really able to score in bunches from all kinds of range and on the break as well. So Éanna really need him to see him be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
And the battle between Provisors and Musters continue. It did free up some space there for Giabali. Shakes his head, very much wears his heart on his sleeve, the young North Dubliner. When it's not going his way, you know it. But when it is going his way, he makes sure you know it. Thought about taking on McKevley there, but it's with Darling. And shoots over Aidan Dunn and extends the lead. Makarenko determined to claim that one. Probably not quite as difficult as he made it look. Good quick hands, it's back with Makarenko. Now it's Giabali in the corner. A fine three for Tarek Giabali.
Yeah, great ball movement from DCU Saints that time. Providing to touch the ball twice in quick succession. Made great pass out of it and an open shot.
Musters offers some form of respite to Commercial.ie Éanna. It's a double substitution by Joey Boylan. Checking into the game, Daniel Heaney and Graham Branley. Branley had been on the bench since picking up his second personal foul. Musters goes for the and one. No joy there. You get the sense that DCU Saints really are clicking right about now, to the point where they'd be a handful for a lot of teams, rather than the one just below them in the men's Super League table. Ian Lynch given no mercy by the referee there, as Dunn looks to spin in, and a miscommunication there. Sees the ball bounce straight out of play.
Yeah, DCU able to do whatever they want really on offense. I mean, it doesn't always result in the score, but Martin Provisors is having his way right now. Cuts, screens, passes, whatever he wants to do, everything going through him. And it's resulting in a lot of open looks for DCU Saints, whereas Éanna really struggling to create something easy for themselves. And it's a long way back when you only scored 33 in 2.5 quarters.
The fist pump from Giavali. Ever so keen to make his own personal contribution to this game. And will get a chance to shoot the bonus. McKevley picks up his second personal foul, but Éanna are on 3 team fouls at the moment, so they'll need to be careful. Dimitriukas trying to run a set play. Aidan Dunn may be the benefactor, or of course he could go all the way himself, but it's with Graham Brantley now to Giavali. Might try something here. Travel called. Took too much out of him just to take the ball mid-flight. Delicate pass by Musters. Finish doesn't come off for Gillian Muldoon. Branley doubles back. Daniel Heaney had to make space for him. Now it's with O'Hanlon. 8 on the shot clock. That's called against DCU. now. Muldoon trying to inject some muscle into his game. Draws applause from the bench and goes to the line. But it will feel like a long, long way back now. 3:39 to go in this third quarter. DCU leading by 26 points. But you'd expect, and Graham Branley moving on to a third foul, along with Martin's Provisors. Everyone else has kept their nose relatively clean. It's impressive to see so many young guns on the floor for DCU Saints. Dan Nelm's the only man on the floor for DCU who'd be in his late 20s. The fine execution there from Aidan Dunn. Most likely Éanna's top scorer at the moment.
Yeah, him and Dimitrioukas have really been the only two scorers. Great pass from Musters, but it's under the basket on rebounds and points that Éanna have really missed Musters today. Between him and Salazar, they've really produced very little, and that'll be a disappointment to Coach Mick Thompson, because they really do need easy points inside. When you're relying on long shots and tough scores, it makes for a long afternoon. And I think Éanna's 36 points with 3 minutes to go in the third kind of reflects the way things have gone for them.
DCU had to work very hard for this one. There's still plenty of energy coming from the Éanna bench, and that is helping spur on their teammates on the floor. Great to see. Here's Lynch for three. Muldoon wanted something for the rebound, didn't get it. It's 3-on-3 here. Mid-range for Heaney is short. But it's a white ball. Still alive for DCU. Shot clock resets. Neary for three. He loves these, and that's why when you're good enough, you're old enough. How can Éanna respond? Lynch goes for Dunn. Bank shot. That's a nice piece of play.
Yeah, great finish from Aidan Dunn. Talked about earlier, it'd be interesting to see how he got on when they were marking him so tightly later on in the game, but he stuck at it, made good decisions. He's not got too frustrated, and he's gradually built his score, and been impressive for Éanna.
Commercial.ie, Éanna just determined to do some damage to the National Basketball Arena. And possibly the referee there.
Yeah, not often you talk about referees' injuries, but
that's the first injury of any kind we've seen in this game, and it's gone to one of the officials. He's a brave chap. He looks like he'll struggle on.
Yeah, probably a bang on the knee. You know, they're very sore, very little flesh there, but
Éanna aren't playing like a team who are out of sight, that's for sure. Minute 50 to go in this third quarter. Nelms goes around Musters, but only turned into Lynch. Somehow he still has the ball. Just couldn't get the angle on the basket, and ended up on his backside for his troubles. DCU in foul trouble now as well. Éanna will look to put a positive spin, and once again through Aidan Dunn, eat back into the lead.
yeah, he's quietly having a very good game now, well into double figures now at this point. It's just unfortunate for Éanna that at the moment it looks very much like it'll be in vain. They've struggled to make any inroads into this lead at all.
Here he goes again. And he caught caught DCU napping there, but couldn't execute. But he's a fine talent. And with Commercial.ie, Éanna missing out on their scorer-in-chief, Luke Thompson, it's a big step up from the young man. Musters, here's Lynch, spins that one in, and it's back to less than 20. 45 seconds to go. Bench are back and engaged, and Dunn pulls off the turnover. Oh, and he's just about let it spill himself. There's still a lot of work to do for O'Hanlon. The cavalry arrives. Dan Elms lets it drop. Makarenko puts it back to his point guard. And this is some great team play, but Musters with the block, and now Éanna sets sail. And Aidan Dunn will be disappointed with that one. He might just have to put 10 cents into the swear jar after that. Just 10 seconds to go in this third quarter. Can Éanna make the stop? Well, it was ambitious, but they knew the time was on their side. Here come DCU to stretch their score. Slung out to Daniel Heaney for three. It's short. Score stays as it is. 10 minutes left to play in this men's Super League encounter. It's DCU Saints who lead Commercial.ie Éanna by 62 points to 43. So what can Commercial.ie Éanna muster? Well, that's not a bad start, is it? Thomas McCabe will go to the line for the bonus.
No, and as I was looking at the lineups there, I was just thinking to myself that Éanna could probably do a couple of three-pointers early in this quarter just to get it back towards that 10-point mark. And McCabe wasn't the man I was expecting to do it, but he did it the old-fashioned way with a three-point play of his own.
Once again, Éanna are fired up. Not beyond the realms of possibility that they can claw their way back into contention. And Nelms has had a bad day at the office on offense. Has put in a lot of good defense, but really should be contributing more to the scoreboard, you'd expect the American. Here's Dimitrikas, kicks it back. And that one had a chance. anytime Éanna inject a bit of pace into the game, there's plenty of menace to go with it. And Dan Nelms literally had too much time in his hands there. Nearly needed just enough.
Yeah, it's that type of play that is going to kill you when you're trying to come back. Éanna in and out from on a three from made and done. It's a nice backdoor play there from Dunn and Lynch.
This game is certainly picking up in quality in the opening exchanges of this fourth quarter. And Éanna now 17 points adrift. It could have been a lot worse, and they'll feel that they earned that turnover.
The bad news for Éanna is Provisors is stepping back into the game along with his partner Owen Darling in this one. But the one thing you have to say is impressive and certainly help Éanna as they're in the relegation battle a little bit is that their attitude throughout the game, it's not been their best game, has never once changed, and even now when it looks beyond them, they're all together as a team and their bench is up supporting at every last play, and you know that's what helps teams when you're fighting down towards the bottom and struggling to score a little bit.
And there's a 6'9" Latvian former rugby player rejecting your very best efforts, but that's not bad from Aidan Dunn. Gap is down to 14.
Yeah, the turnover there. We had a game against DCU last week when we were down 20 and pulled it back to 8 in the fourth quarter, and you get the feeling if Éanna can keep the pace going and keep getting up and down the floor like DCU earlier in the game, if they can get it to under 10, strange things happen in basketball games, but they'd want to do that in the next minute and a half, 2 minutes, just to make DCU think about it a little bit.
Yeah, all credit to the attitude of Éanna's squad as a whole. Their head coach Mick Thompson, a real positive guy. It's good to see that shared around the players. Provisors arriving late. And definitely defense is a lot tighter here from Éanna, and they've got hands on the ball, and that's big. And that's a massive pass from Lynch to Dunn, can't finish, gets another bite of the cherry. This time the run continues.
Yeah, and Éanna have just speeded up the game, offensively and defensively. They're starting to gamble a little bit more, they're leaving some people open, but DCU's composure's just gone a little bit here, but a lovely backdoor pass from Provisors and Darling.
Darling's shooting stats are impressive today, of that there's no doubt. Well, let's see if it'll take the wind out of Éanna's sails. Nathaniel Musters, the Australian, trying to take on Provisors. There's just 2 seconds on the shot clock, which means he had to rush it. And that physical battle continues all the way down the floor. Here's Daniel Heaney to O'Hanlon. There's an edge to this game that we've been missing for a while. It's bringing the crowd into it as well. O'Hanlon takes it on himself. Makarenko puts on the performance, gets the ref on his side. And a timeout may just settle things, but the stretch of this game could be interesting. DCU lead Éanna 67-53. kicked out to Makarenko. Same again. It's good in and out play from DCU, and it's in and out of the basket from O'Hanlon's attempt. Provizores is on the floor. He'll have to scramble to get back. Barges Musters out of the way.
Yeah, Dunn just needed a shout there, let him know Provizors is on his shoulder. But this next minute is going to be huge, coming down to, from 6 to 5 minutes. If Éanna can get the next 2 baskets and get it to single figures or to 10, it gives them 5 minutes to try and pull their way back into the game. But if DCU keep it at this 14-16 margin, down below 5 minutes, all of a sudden it becomes harder because you have to gamble a little bit more, fouls start to come into it.
McCabe kick-started this. What can he do? He just had to try and get out of the way there for a finish. Darling still so efficient for DCU Saints. And that was always going in from Kevin O'Hanlon. So the lead for DCU just starting to creep out again now. It's open for Musters. He was the open proof there that the open man isn't always the right man. Lovely pass inside from Provizors, full of creativity today. Bats that one down. Darling has it. It's back with Provizors. Goes Superman style for the basket. Can't quite believe he didn't get something out of that. Good news is he does, and Musters picks up a second personal foul.
Yeah, technical foul being called on Coach Mick Thompson for arguing that call. Just trying to make the point that the furthest referee from the action had called the foul, but obviously the referee had seen something amiss inside.
And you don't feel Éanna can do without Neil Lynch right about now as he calls in his troops. He's on 4 fouls, whilst behind him Provizors has a chance to push out this lead. It's getting closer to 20 again. Will it just dampen the hope that Éanna had earned the right to?
Absolutely it will, and also with the whistle going and it's slowing down, it's slowed down that kind of pace that Éanna had got used to, and it's hard to create that kind of pace. And again, another foul will stop the clock, just slows things down, and at this point in time you can't see anything other than a DCU win, just the way the game is going and the pace and the way things have happened in the last minute and a half really.
So with 5 minutes to go, Archie Makarenko takes DCU's tally to 74. The last time these sides met, DCU scored 73 and they lost the game. Éanna way off their target of a winning margin with just 53 points to their name after 35 minutes of basketball. What can Aidan Dunn do about it? Well, in fairness to him, the same thing he's been doing all day, which is be 100% committed to this game. But the same could be said about many of his teammates. Éanna genuinely have kept plugging away here. It's a fine kick out to McCabe. The shot clock beats him. Éanna with just that little bit less fizz and that little bit less physicality. DCU maintaining their intensity.
Yeah, good foul from Makarenko there. Didn't get the ball the first time and just kept on slapping until he got the foul, and it just slows it down, makes Éanna go up against their full defense and makes it even harder for them to try and eat into this deficit.
And that could have gone anywhere. It falls to DCU. Didn't quite click for the Saints there.
Intentional foul call there. I'm not sure anyone's quite realised it yet. It was called intentional.
So with 3:44 to go in this game, DCU have exceeded their tally from the reverse fixture. Of course, they lost that one. Éanna, however, well short of their winning target last time out of 77 points. But they have made one last throw of the dice with Connor White and Diogo Salazar in the game. But Dimitrikas played into the hands of Graham Branley. Conor Gilligan, and Makarenko completes the turnover. Lee Lynch has had a good shift. Couldn't take him off even if he is on 4 fouls. But there was no way past Provizors there. Must be his 3rd, possibly 4th block of the day. And as Dimitrikas heads for the bench, you wonder what might have been had he been able to maintain that incredible start to the game.
Yeah,
Pink boots in possession. Here's another sub for Éanna. Seth Senzia back in the game. Goes for Salazar. And those shooting stats continue to dip. 2:45 left in this game now. And it's all too easy for DCU Saints.
Yeah, Dimitrikas had a great start, but since then, bar making 1 or 2 tough shots has really slowed down. That's from the relentless defense. Also, Archie Makarenko checked out of the game there and really has had a big influence in this game. You see, you know, between him and Providence, there's a great understanding, passing inside, interior passing, rebound. He might have not got the points and the blocks that Providence ends up with, but he certainly has been a huge influence in how this game has ended up.
Senzia's pass was interrupted, as was Giabali's trip to the basket. Just under 2 minutes to go now. And there's a chance for yet another underage international to make his way into the game. Robert Sullivan coming in for Graham Branley. Daniel Heaney swapping out for Martins Provizors. And once again, a visible reaction from Tarek Giabali. There's Senzia. 1:50 to go in this game. 25 points between the sides. It was down to 13 at one point. As Heaney keeps the ball in play to set Kevin O'Hanlon on his way. Giovanni just let the ball slip out of his hands at the vital moment. Goes on the attack again. Tried to find Heaney. Does, but just stepped out of play in doing so. Connor White was an impact player for Éanna, and that one's worthy of a round of applause. So too the departure of Kevin O'Hanlon.
Yeah, Kev's had an excellent game, as I mentioned earlier on. He's really kept the tempo and composure going for DCU Saints today, as well as putting a bit of a scoring shift in as well.
Barely had one turnover.
Yeah, no, he's really been very impressive this season so far, and at the centre of everything, DCU have done well.
Senzi might have to go all the way himself. Just lacked a little bit of composure in the execution. Here's Robert Sullivan. So now just down to 30 seconds to go. That's spectacular, really, from Tarek Giovanni, the late arrival, and the putback takes DCU Saints to 80. Well, that's just about all she wrote, folks. Éanna did enough to make this game interesting in the final period. Just couldn't make that breakthrough to really rattle DCU Saints, who run down the clock and claim a much-needed win, their 5th of the season. They have beaten Commercial.ie Éanna by 80 points to 55 here at the National Basketball Arena.